Welcome to this week's edition of the Friday Five. I'm Ben Rosart. Happy to be joined by Kayce DeLeon this week from our cheer and stunt team. Kayce, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Ben. How are you?
Doing well, and thank you so much again for being our guest this week. Let's get right into our five questions. Our first question this Friday, want to ask you just kind of what was your path to Concordia, and do you have a cheerleading background or maybe gymnastics and diving? I know a number of our student athletes on our cheerleading and stunt teams have a very versatile background.
Yeah. So I started stunt my first year in my junior year of high school. It was a brand new sport, so that was my first time doing stunt. As long as cheer goes, I started more like the time. Um, and then I do have a background in gymnastics, so I did gymnastics for about 9 years, which is what led me to cheer. Um, as long as my path came to Concordia, my coaches reached out to me from I had no clue what Concordia was at first, and when they did reach out, I mean, I just fell in love with the program. I fell in love with the Christian aspect of it, and then obviously just the fact that it allowed me to stay closer with my cheer and stunt background.
Well, we're so happy you decided to come here and have obviously made an impact. During your competitions for stunt, we often see you positioned way up in the air. Um, how would you describe what's that like? And is that a particular position designation? Or I'm just kind of curious, maybe for people that don't know, like the different positions that there are in stunt competitions.
Yeah. Um, it's called a flyer, so or like a top girl. So there are four different positions. We have the bases, which obviously lift us up. We have mid layers, so when it comes to our pyramids, that's the middle layer that we stand on top of. And then we have back spots, which pretty much just catch us in the back. Being up in the air can get pretty scary. It's nice though because our team just has this dynamic to make each other feel comfortable. So when we do those hard skills, it just helps ease our stress and our anxiety, and that's one of the things I admire the most about my team, just how comfortable we make each other and always having our backs on and off the mat.
That feeling you get when you nail the competition, that particular event or round is got to be just exhilarating. And also want to ask you, just for people that may not know, I mean, your sports are a couple of the ones that have the rare opportunity to face off against Division I opponents consistently throughout the season. Men's volleyball does that, beach volleyball, both of our water polo teams in particular. But you guys are in that as well. You've participated in competition against Cal, Arizona State, BYU, just to name a few over the years you've been here. What is that like, and how cool is that to get that opportunity? Because not every sport at the Division II level or lower always gets that chance, you know?
Hmm. Like you said, when we hit a new stunt or we win a round, it's super exhilarating. So, I mean, being able to play against those teams and having the opportunity to play against those teams is kind of the same feeling. It's nice because a lot of the times we're all on the same playing level. So there are like Division I schools that we have beat, and it's an amazing feeling. And it's also just, like you said, it's super exhilarating just being able to have the opportunity to do that and to have the same skills and have like be on the same like battlefield, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I'm just curious, just kind of adding off on that. Are there a couple schools that we would consider our rivals just because there isn't necessarily a conference, for your stunt competitions?
So our biggest rival, I think, is Vanguard, just because we're both in the Orange County area. So it's kind of like a home field type thing. Super exciting when we do get to play them, though, because a lot of the girls from our stunt team know people at Vanguard, and then a lot of people at Vanguard know Concordia. So it's nice being able to see everyone come together and kind of just represent Orange County in that way.
Absolutely. You guys see a lot of each other, and both teams are very talented, especially from what I've seen the last couple of years. So, want to ask you also just what are some of your favorite places you've been able to travel, whether it's with cheer and stunt and sports related or outside of sports over the last few years?
I remember our about 2 years ago we got to travel to Berkeley. that was probably one of my favorite places my team got to travel together with. It was a great team bonding experience, one, and then being from Northern California, it was just nice going back there and being able to, like I said, represent my school here in SoCal and kind of just go back home and show people what we do.
And where in Northern California are you from?
I'm from Sacramento.
Very cool, very cool. I know Sacramento State also, an opponent we've seen on our schedule the last few years for stunt competitions.
My sister goes there, so that's
Oh,
kind of a rivalry too, because she's but also on the cheer and stunt team, so nice to play her.
that's awesome. That's so cool. Not everyone gets that opportunity also. So what a unique experience for you guys. Any other favorite memories, either from competitions or outside of your sports participation, just since you came to Concordia? We always like to finish the Friday Five with that as our fifth question.
Oh, that's such a good question. My past 4 years here have been amazing. I mean, the people I've met, obviously my experience with the cheer and stunt team. I would say though, my favorite memory has to be we were playing RCC one time and they called a higher level that we didn't know we didn't even know we had it in us to do it. And we kind of just threw it on the mat last second with no practice the week before, kind of just adrenaline. That's basically what the whole thing was running off of. And then we ended up hitting it. And that was just super rewarding because like we just all had faith and trust in each other and being able to do that. So that was probably one of my favorite memories.
Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. I mean, that sometimes can be maybe the unexpected day is one of the most memorable, because that's the beauty of sports. You never necessarily know what could happen, what could be thrown at you, and how you can potentially maybe even ad lib or audible to overcome it. So,
Absolutely.
Kayce, yeah, thank you again for being with us on our Friday Five segment, and good luck with everything the rest of the month with classes and everything. And we look forward to seeing you back on the mat soon.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
Have a great one.
You too.